Hi everyone, in today's video I want to talk about the challenges facing Generation Z. We feel stressed, we have unrealistic expectations, and we are not even aware of that. We want everything right now and we feel frustrated, and I want with this video to sum up 10 most current challenges I feel as a Generation Z feel that we are struggling with, and I believe that when I put correct name on it, it will help me and you as well to overcome those challenges, to realize and understand some of the emotions we have to more peaceful and more happier life. Really looking forward to share those things with you. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and let me know some of the challenges you are currently facing. And let's start with the number one issue facing Generation Z is student debt. Students have very competitive degrees, but they entered adulthood with a debt. And I see this is a really big challenge, even though universities might tell you that you are just paying a really small fee or you're paying really little interest. I believe that entering the adulthood with debt is really stressful, and it puts just a lot of stress on your shoulders, and I believe this should be eliminated as much as possible. People have the feeling that they want to study, and I absolutely support it. However, I think that having student debt should not be a standard, in my opinion. And I believe that solution to this might be considering, do I really need a degree? Because for some majors you absolutely need a degree, but for many of them you don't really need it. And I often see that students just study something for fun and eventually they end up in a different field. And I think that paying a massive debt for this is just a pity. Another solution to this thing might be searching for some alternative education on the internet or in the company itself, or searching for some extra scholarship funded by the government or the city hall or the university itself. Another challenge we are facing are unrealistic expectations, and I blame especially social media from that, because on social media we see everything seems super perfect. People are running businesses, studying international schools, having families, are healthy and travel the world 24/7. I absolutely believe that we can have it all. We can have everything we want. We can be successful in all aspects of our life. However, I think everything takes time and need patience. And sometimes it's difficult to understand this because social media shows us only the results. They don't show us the struggles. And while we still know this, we don't really realize it. And we feel frustrated and we have really high expectations. And I feel it's really pity to feel this frustration, especially because when we're trying and we don't see the results right away, we think that we should completely abandon the projects we're doing. However, everything needs time and patience. And I think it's really important to remind ourselves that everything what we see on the internet might be or might not be truth. And I believe that if you find your supportive group of people, if you attend some mastermind groups, or if you just talk to some real people in your region and you see their struggles and you see what they're going through, I think it helps you to set some real expectations and see what it takes to be successful and to have it all. The third thing I see that all young people are struggling with is the economic uncertainty. With the high debts, the high mortgages, and rising prices of everything, we feel it's really difficult to survive, especially in big cities. And plus, having a family or traveling the world and saving some extra money seems almost impossible. And also, when you're applying for a job, it seems there are hundreds of other people with more experience. How should you even be able to succeed financially in this world? I absolutely believe that it's a lot about the mindset. If you believe in yourself and you put work on yourself, then you will not struggle financially. But it requires some financial education as well as trying out and working on yourself. I believe that you can overcome this when you are going to be the best in your field, in whatever you're doing. Doesn't matter, but try to work on your skills and don't be just the average person in your field. And if you're not really passionate about what you're doing, then you can always opt for going with 2 or 3 different sources of income, searching for some side hustles to earn extra money. In fact, I think there's so many opportunities, it just feels a little bit difficult to choose only one. And this is another struggle I encounter myself. It's exactly having so many opportunities to do anything, so many opportunities to study, so many opportunities to travel or to find partners. Even with Tinder nowadays, we have struggles because we feel that the perfect person is just one swipe away, or we feel that the best job is just one interview away, and so on. And I feel like this immensely big variety of opportunities we have leads to some sort of paralyzation, and we don't know what to choose, and we are afraid to choose wrong, so we don't choose anything, and we stay at where we are and we don't do anything. And I think this is probably the worst thing when we are talking about self-development or being better or being more successful or living the life of our dreams, when we don't do anything. Do maybe think less. When we like something, we should go for it. Just don't think that there is extra and better opportunity. Of course, sometimes you really need to say no, because there will be other opportunities and bigger and better opportunities coming up later. However, if you feel that you are paralyzed, then just try to choose one thing and go for it, and don't hesitate and think, oh, I should have done this better or faster. I think that the problem of Generation Z is addiction, and addiction to social media, to drugs, or to excessively staying at home, or addiction to be all the time surrounded by people. I think that Generation Z is generally struggling with being alone. And I think this is caused by the fact that we spend so much time on social media, then we feel kind of unfulfilled, unhappy, and this leads to addiction of any kind. My suggestion for this is try to spend more time in nature, try to spend more quality time with people you like, or just trying going out to some meaningful events. And if you feel like more introvert and you don't feel like going out so much, try to find something what fulfills you, no matter if it's writing online or if it's your job or whatever it is. But finding something what fulfills you will help you to avoid any addiction. And I think that any sort of addiction is wrong and it's harmful for your life. So try to avoid it as much as possible, because the harmful effects can be massive to your quality of your life, your friendships, and your relations. Have you ever had the feeling like, oh my god, I am missing this event, I am missing this party, and you really physically and mentally feel miserable about that? It's because the Generation Z, including myself, are struggling with FOMO, fear of missing out, so often. And again, it's caused by social media, because the social media constantly exposes all kind of events we should, and the places where we should be at the moment. And again, my advice to this is maybe unfollow all the accounts which cause you to feel bad when you scroll and you see them on the social media. I currently am following on my Instagram and my Twitter just a very limited number of accounts, and believe me, I feel much better. And it's not just about the fear of missing out, it's including the unrealistic expectations as well. However, the fear of missing out sometimes can feel even stronger, because sometimes fear of missing out is including our closest ones, and therefore we feel rejected. And believe me, having some fear of missing out and thinking that someone has not invited you will just cause that you will have worse relations with your friends or with your colleagues. So there is no point of having fear of missing out. And talking about all these difficulties like financial instability, unrealistic expectations, and so on, will all lead to mental issues. And I think that it's quite hilarious and sad at the same time that we as a Generation Z have basically everything. We haven't experienced hunger, we haven't experienced war, we are living this happy life, and still we feel miserable. We feel like we have nothing to fight for. We feel that everything is so difficult. We feel empty. And I think that all the generations went to work and didn't have so much time and space to actually dedicate the attention to the mental problems. We as a Generation Z, we do have this space, And I absolutely believe if you say I'm going to therapy and I am having my psychologue and I have someone to talk to, it's nothing wrong about it and it should get completely normalized the same way as if you're going to the gym. Cyberbullying, I think it's integrated in our lives without even realizing, and especially if you're a content creator and you're putting out something on the internet, then you have, I am 100% sure, encountered some cyberbullying and some criticism and some hates. And while criticism, there is nothing wrong about it, but there are so many cyberbullying. Maybe you have experienced it already in your high school or in the university, and I would say this is really passively aggressive and it can cause really massive mental damage to yourself and to your future self. Don't take anything personally. However, I understand that this is quite process. However, believe me that if you encounter some hate on your content, then the first comment will hurt. The fifth comment will hurt as well, but a little bit less. And if you read the 100th comment which is against you, then you will be just laughing and saying, okay, this doesn't hurt me at all. And if cyberbullying or the fear of being cyberbullied stops you from creating, then please do it, because believe me, it will just fade away over time. Last but not least, I see that we Generation Z are struggling with political polarization. While I'm not actively involved in politics or whatsoever, however, I see that we are living in a more polarized world, and it's again because of the internet, because of all the algorithm which providing us the information we are actually looking for. However, it creates kind of borders between different groups of people. Maybe if you have university and you have people, you have old friends which don't have university, we are polarized so strictly and everyone is convinced about their own truth that I feel that people are creating tighter and tighter bubbles, social bubbles, than before. And I think it's a pity, because we can learn from any person in this world. And while we don't have to be best friends, but we still should have this mutual respect and empathy and trying to understand the different points of view. I just want to emphasize that it's important to try to practice your empathy toward other people. And last but not least, I dare to say that we as a Generation Z, we are kind of more disconnected from the real world. I feel it's caused by the social media, by the instability, that nothing seems certain. The easiest solution for free and immediately is going and spending more time in nature with other people, pursuing our hobbies and doing generally what we like. And I think there has never been a better time to do what we love, because now with the internet we don't have to commute to work so much as our grandparents and so on. And I think we have much more space to deal with our mental health and with our hobbies and with everything what surrounds us, and being more connected to ourselves. So while I think we are the most disconnected generation while still being so much connected to the internet, I also believe we have the best tools and best time to find our connection again. Thank you guys for watching.